What's up, players? It's your homie Rod, and in today's video, I'm gonna give you a general direction on what meta cards you should own in order to try to get yourself into the competitive scene in Dragon Ball Super card games. So if you're trying to play competitively, this is the video for you. I'm gonna go through the cards relatively quickly, and not all the cards that are meta are on this video, or else this video will be extremely long. So let's get straight into it. First things first, we got the Super Saiyan Trunks right here. This card right here is costing around $26 at the moment, but it is a staple for any of the blue decks that are utilizing blue Unison. This card counters anything coming out, and it doesn't let it come out onto the field, and it's for free. So you gotta own this if you want to play in the competitive scene. Meta card for sure. And of course, you want to have the red version, which is the Yamcha. If you have a Unison, you counterplay it and minus. This card's actually $10, which is relatively low. It's the weakest of all the counter plays that come out for free, but it's extremely must own if you're playing red, because most decks nowadays have Unison. So another one is obviously the green version. These are all staple meta cards, guys. If you're going to be playing in the competitive scene, expect these counter plays. This is the Frieza KOs anything, and right now this card's actually $18 to $19. So it comes out for free and KOs. As long as you have a Unison, you can activate it for free. Then let's talk about the yellow one, which is Vegeta Prideful transformation. As you guys can see, this card's around $13 to $15, and it's a must for the yellow decks, especially if you run a Unison. Not that many people play it, but if there's a Unison, expect it to come out. So those are the must own meta cards right there. Luckily, we're going to be hopefully getting those cards in reprints soon. Talking about reprints, and hopefully we got Violin Raise. It's a must for the red players out there. It's a negate. You discard a card, and then your opponent cannot make multiple attacks with heavy battle cards or heavy Unison cards. Right now, it's $51 for good reason, but wait, it will be coming out as a reprint. It's a must own meta card, and like I said, I'm not going to go over all the cards. I'm just going over the ones you should most likely expect and should own if you're trying to get into the meta. And King Vegeta's imposing presence from the new set, actually $8 right now, but it is a must. It not only minuses 10k power, it activates for free by discarding a card if you're at a certain amount of life, and every single card that attacks loses 5k. Awesome for the red to stay alive. Then on top of that, we also have a Senzu Bean. So these are like the blue meta extra cards. So Senzu Bean, of course, if you don't know, gives a 5k boost, restand and extra energy, and on top of that, it's not that expensive anymore. It's costing $1 to 70 cents. So it's relatively cheap, and it's a must if you are playing blue. Usually people run 4 in a deck. And talking about blue extra cards that are necessary, expect Dimension Magic. It's literally the best negate for the blues, and because it restands an extra energy and negates, of course. It's like a 50-cent card, so that one's pretty affordable. Now, green extra cards, you want to own Dormant Potential Unleashed. It's a counter. You discard a card, and your opponent could only make one more attack for the remainder of the turn. Awesome to keep your butt alive. Right now, this card's costing around $38, so it's a pretty pricey card, but it's for sure meta. Then we got Homicidal Clones. This is pretty much those new counters that you could negate an attack and play out a little token that's also a blocker for the turn. And this is just one version. You could play any of the other colors. I think every color has one except for black, if I'm not mistaken, but these are a must. Definitely a meta extra card. Then Power Burst. For the black, this is like the best extra card negate. It negates an attack and gives you a 1-drop from the warp or drop back to your hand. Right now, this card's actually around 10 cents. Super cheap, but it's a must meta own card for the blacks. And if you want to go a little bit more pricey, we got Protector of the People, which is a negate, and you discard a card, and then your leader gains an additional 5k boost for every single additional attack with battle cards your opponent does to you. So this card could keep you alive in the long run. So this card is extremely good for the black as a negate. So now let's talk about the yellow negates. We got the Power of a Super Saiyan. This card is a must meta own card. Right now it's around $17 to $20 for good reason, because activate battle for free, rest something, draw a card, and it's also a negate. Let's keep on moving, guys. We got Giant Ball, one of the best extra cards in my opinion. Definitely meta. It pretty much puts anything coming out to rest mode, and on top of that, it's costing around $19 to $20. It's pretty darn pricey for one card, but usually people run two in the deck. Awesome card because it allows you to draw as well. Then meta for sure, every deck could run this card. Double strike Champa gives double strike to the attacking card, so this could go for game if your opponent's at 2 lives. Right now it's around 20 cents to 70 cents, so this is a pretty budget meta card to own. Double strike your face out of nowhere. Then for the reds, we got Topo Righteous Aid, an amazing battle card that stops your opponent from doing multiple attacks during the turn, and it comes out during your opponent's turn when they attack as a counter attack, as a negate. And then you got a 20k body, and it just stops your opponent. So right now it's a $2 card, so that's pretty darn good considering it was like a $30 card at one point. Then King Piccolo, the new ruler, one of the best meta cards. This is probably the most meta red card you could own because it comes out for free. It's a 20k attack if your leader is red, and it ignores blockers, so it could go in with a double strike to your opponent, and it comes out for free if you have a Unison. So this guy is a must to own. Right now it's $30 to $40. It's a pretty pricey card, but it's so darn worth it. And then we got Piccolo Jr Eradicator of the Peace. This card is a must own, especially the best dual color card in my opinion, because not only does it activate Alliance, which is whenever it attacks you switch cards to rest mode, and then it gains the power of the cards you switch, plus you draw 2, plus it deals 1 burn damage. This card's a $40 to $50 card. So this is a pretty must own card. This card, you could build a whole deck just on this card. Definitely meta, expected. And then for the blues, the blue battle cards, we're talking about Baby Golden Avenger. This card is a finisher. It also gets rid of barrier cards, plus it is a triple strike your opponent. And this card is around $17 to $14. It's a meta card. People usually run 2 to 3 in a deck because it's definitely a boss finisher. Then for the blue / dual color yellow, we have Violin Rush Bojack. Definitely became meta. It's actually not that expensive. You can build a whole deck revolving around this card alone because it has Aegis, which you discard a blue yellow card from your hand during the defensive step in the combo, and you're able to restand 2 your energies, draw a card. This card right here is sick because it has barrier. It's only like roughly $1, so this card is definitely meta. Ribrianne Punishing Passion. This card also is meta for the green, one of the best meta green battle cards, because if it's in the drop, you pay 2 green energies and you force your opponent to discard 2 cards from their hand. You could build a whole deck revolving around Ribrianne as well. Right now it's like a $8 card, $5 to $8 for the reprint. Recommend getting the reprint because it's a lot cheaper. Then we have Rosie Blast Manipulator for the green battle cards, and this card has deflect, so it's gonna come out and it forces 2 discards on your opponent's hand, and it also gains triple attack for the turn. So for 3 energies you get a lot of value. This card's around $6 to $7, pretty darn budget, but definitely meta. Splashable green card for sure. Then for the black battle cards, we have Demon God Demigra, the True Power Unleashed. This card is splashed in almost every black meta deck because for 2 energies over round 5 or dark over round 5, it comes out and it not only warps away an opponent's battle card, so it's good removal, it draws you a card, and then every time it swings, it forces a discard on your opponent's hand because it sends a card to the warp. Right now it's a $70 to $80 card. This card is straight up meta. That's why it's so darn pricey. Then we got Secret Identity Mass Saiyan, a more budget card, but it's still very powerful, splashable into almost every deck, and it warps away a total of 6 costs from your opponent's field, and it's a 25k body. Awesome card right here. Right now it's around $3 to $5. Then we have, for the yellow battle cards, Mecha Frieza Robotic right here. This card is extremely valuable. Right now it's a $60 to $50 card because it's like a topo. Whenever you have a opponent attack, you can negate, play this card out, and then every time they swing, they have to switch something to rest mode. So this stops your opponent from overextending, and it's a 15k body on board. Now we got Bergamo Furious Roar for the yellow black battle cards. This card's around $17 to $18, extremely powerful. Comes out for 2 energies whenever you switch one of your opponent's cards to rest mode, and then upon played, it switches 2 more cards to rest mode, ignoring barriers. So this card is awesome to lock your opponent out and push for game. Then for the Unison, we're going to talk about the blue ones. We got Baby the Unknown Parasite right here. This card comes out for 3. It allows you to keep stacking up markers on it and drawing, and then you could also give your leader double strike with its -5 ability. Right now it's a $30 card for good reason. Then another awesome blue Unison that's also meta is Xeno Cosmic Unison. You could literally splash this in a lot of blue decks and it does wonders. It gives you an extra energy for the turn, which is insane, and of course this card's around $7. Not too bad. Then we have Piccolo Jr for the red meta Unison. This card is awesome because it allows you to draw by giving it markers, and then it also stops your opponent from countering because you could KO some of their cards. Right now it's like a $7 to $9 card. Awesome, best red Unison. Then we got the green Unison, which we're going to be talking about the Migra. The Migra is a card you should own if you're trying to build a green deck. For when energy comes out, you can stack up markers on it, and it gains it's pretty much a 15k swing. It's around $1, so it's a pretty darn budget Unison. And then we have Broly, the Overwhelming Evil for the green Unison. This card, you splash it, it forces discards, it's a double strike, and it's just board removal as well. It's just really good. $6 is the price of this card. Then we got Super Saiyan Trunks, Gotenks. This is like the best black Unison, I guess. Depends. For the blacks, the Unison, you want to pretty much pick one that's specific to the deck you're building. So I just went with this one because there's a lot of powerful Saiyan leaders, and this one comes out for free if you mill it. Then for the yellow Unison, I went with Super Saiyan Trunks. This card is extremely meta. It's only $3, and this card could board wipe a field because it KOs anything that's in rest mode with its -3, and its 0 activate main allows you to KO just 4 costs or less, just like that. And it's a dual attack, 20k. It's around $3 to $4 right now. Then for the secrets, let's talk about the secret meta cards. We got Baby Hatchyak. It's pretty much, you could play it out if you have 3 energies, discard a card, and your opponent can't attack anymore, so you end their turn and you got a 40k body on field. Right now this card's like a $300 and $350 card, around that price point. And then we got obviously the dual attack, quadruple strike you in the face, deflect, warp cards away from your hand. This guy comes out with Successor, so you sacrifice cards on the field, play them out for free, and then you could go in for game. This card's a $500 to $450 card for good reason. Then we have Supreme Kind of Time, Space Time Unraveler. It's one of the best black splashable secret rares because it could literally board wipe the field, and you can bring it out during the battle for just 1 energy, and for 1 energy you destroy everything, even the Unisons, and then you have a 40k body on field. And that is it. There are so many cards, guys, that could be considered meta, and if you're on a budget, my recommendation secret rare is actually Heroine Lineage. It's around $60 right now, and it just steals 1 card from your opponent's field just like that for 1 energy. And it's right now not that expensive, $60, not bad for a secret rare. And those are the meta cards. There are so many meta cards, guys, I couldn't go over it in this video. It will be forever, but those are the ones you should more or less own. If you guys want to see what the meta cards are, go to Shenron's Lair and then go to this search engine and put descending and search for sort by popularity, and then right here you're gonna get all the cards that are pretty darn powerful. These are all the meta cards. I wasn't gonna go over all single one of them because it will take too long, so that's what you could do. Just look at the cards that everyone's playing, and those are usually the meta cards because they are extremely competitive. So if you enjoyed this video and found it informative, feel free to hit that like, subscribe, and leave a comment because I read the comments, and I made this video for the comment right now. So thank you for recommending this, and like we always say, y'all stay super. Me and Seven, we both obscene with the hand destruction.